Welcome back. I'm Matt Bird, your host. We are coming off another panel, and I've got with me next the Chief Medical Officer for DXC Technologies of North America, George Mathew. George, how are you?
Doing well. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. It's been a long day.
It has been.
I caught a little bit of your panel. Tell me why this is important to DXC and what you're doing here.
So our panel was talking about whether we need to have something stronger than HIPAA to protect people's health data. And, I got put on the anti-side just because we need to have even numbers. It was a good debate. We had some good discussion from the folks with consensus as to why we should have it. I think the audience went with us only because of the fact that we had a lawyer on our side. That wasn't me. It was my teammate. But I do think it kind of highlights the issue that data is out there among all of us, and other people are making money off of it. And we need to figure out a better way to handle it. I know DXC, we're working on solutions for it. There are other companies like Humanity.co and Citizen and other small startups that are trying to figure out how do we empower people to own their data and use it in a way they can use it to help themselves. And I think this discussion is one of many you're going to hear over the next couple of years.
So a layer above HIPAA, that's pretty impressive. That's an undertaking itself. I won't get into specifics because I'm sure there's a whole architecture behind it that's probably proprietary. But I am a little bit curious and interested in knowing, so where are you guys at with the blockchain integration phase? I mean, you get the front end user enablement, and then you got back end the data stack. Yeah. So talk to me about where you're at in the middle of that.
So technology-wise, we have, like many companies, we have a blockchain company, Luxoft, that actually has built out a layer that allows for blockchain implementation. A lot of folks are using what they call distributed ledger, which means that you got like IBM or another company that's offering it, but instead of being decentralized, they're going to be like your vendor of choice, and they'll handle making sure it works properly. I think the real issue, though, is going to be, yeah, we got it to work, but do you want to use it? We're kind of in that whole Gartner hype cycle where it starts off where people are really excited and jazzed about it, then they try actually implementing it, and then the excitement goes away, and then the use kind of falls off. So we're kind of at the fall-off stage, but I think it's starting to tilt back up where people are like, well, there are some cases this might be useful.
There's a lot of hype around blockchain. I cover the World Economic Forum and EU Parliament, a lot of the blockchain and fintech initiatives, the U.S. Trade Department, and so on. And I think there's some confusion between the digital currency or digital asset side and the blockchain side, which is the really unsexy side of things. It's the things that operate behind the scenes that actually make everything happen.
That's right.
I heard an analogy. Look at blockchain like a database, like an Excel spreadsheet. And all the use cases are the formulas that you create inside it.
Sure.
Okay. So what do you see as the next phase of implementation? If we're looking at the front end as the end goal, and we're looking at now adoption being the enterprise, what is the next phase?
I mean, really, it's the use case itself. The problem we've been having now is that it's been a problem looking for a solution looking for a problem. A lot of people have been like, we can do this with it, like provider verification or claims processing or whatnot. They've proven the case works, and then you've gotten a response of, okay, that's nice. I'm kind of happy with the way things are. Don't need to really change things. It ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right.
But I think we're starting to see a confluence of a lot of factors like data monetization, like people being more transparent about it. Some of the trends in healthcare where at least when it comes to, and I think you mentioned the World Economic Forum, as you know, data was recognized as a financial asset about 2010 or so. Yes. So people are definitely trying to figure out how do we make all this work together. This idea of going to patients and saying, look, if we take your data and we figure out what the financial value of it is, and we let you decide if we can use it or not, that can actually change in healthcare at first, but other industries later.
Well, it almost unlocks an entire new economy.
That's exactly right.
Once people realize that there's value in something that's just passive, like putting your money to work, except you're putting your data to work, like a money market account or a savings account.
That's right, and it collects interest over time as long as you collect it together and you know what's going on with it. I mean, in your bank, yes, your bank is taking your money and loaning it to other people, but you always have an account of what your money is and what you're due. That should happen with data too.
George, I'd like to have you back. We had to cut the commercial break. I loved hearing some of your insights and stuff. I'd like to have you back on the show sometime, maybe in a different setting, maybe have you on as a contributor, but it's terrific. Thanks for your time. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. George Mathew, the Chief Medical Officer of CDX.
At DXC.
DXC, sorry, DXC. I'm Matt Bird, your host. You're watching the Traders Network show for ABC, NBC, Fox, CBS, and equities.com. Don't go away. We'll be right back after these messages.
The 2019 Converge to Accelerate conference is brought to you by IEEE, the world's largest technical professional organization for the advancement of technology. Boehringer Ingelheim, passionately working to improve healthcare. NASCO, advancing digital